to SEGATHON 6. As some of you may know, am Grimshins, and we're going to be getting started with Shinobi on the PS2. Very, very cool game. We're big fans of Shinobi here at the crew, and this is certainly one of the hardest and most intense of Shinobi games. So we're very excited about that. Uh, so yeah, without further ado, we can get going. I will give a countdown from 5, and we will get started with Shinobi on PS2. So, Shiva, whenever you are ready, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
Test, test, hello. Am I coming in? Awesome. Hello, everybody. So, a little last minute show up here. I actually just got back into the country not too long ago. So we are here, and I'm going to help provide some commentary for this game for you all. We are on, what stage is this? I want to say stage 4. And I forget the name of this boss, but as you can see, it's some kind of snow tiger kind of spider. I don't know what you want to call it, but Shiva handled that like a pro. Very nice and very clutch too, because we were down to low health. Oh, stage 3B. There we go. I'm recalibrated here. Yeah, this is Moritsune any percent. So basically, we're playing as Moritsune, Hotsuma, the main character's brother. Moritsune does like double damage compared to Hotsuma. Whereas Moritsune does double damage. Hotsuma is not as fast as Moritsune, and also the soul drain from the sword here, Akujiki, is much faster with Moritsune. So this game is designed for speedrunning, but we really got to get through the levels as quickly as can be. Otherwise, you run the risk of dying much sooner with Moritsune here. But yeah, as you can see, this is an example of a level where we have to destroy all the enemies. Most of the levels are broken up into like two styles or two formats, you can say, where one, you have to destroy all the enemies to get past the barriers, or two, you destroy these totems, like these stone floating blocks that you destroy them, and then you can get by the barriers here. And so yeah, this is an example of where we gotta destroy all the enemies and build up what or get what's known as a tate, which you'll notice in the upper right corner. You see these symbols here. When you kill more than at 4 or more enemies, you then get the tate, and you get that cool little cinematic cutscene that we tend to see. So yeah, this level, personally for me, is one of my least favorite levels, just because there's not too much happening, but there's some nice kills, nice movements that happens in this level. And again, Shiva's doing a fantastic job just slicing down these enemies. You want to, as much as can be, similar into a fighting game or a beat 'em up, like say Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, you want to group up the enemies so that you can slice them in like, one blow versus having to take multiple slices. And there's such a thing as like doing slash cancels to make your slashes faster than what they tend to normally be. But again, yeah, Moritsune dealing more damage than Hotsuma. Most of his slices will cut down an enemy in a single slice, as opposed to Hotsuma, who might have to get to that point after killing a certain number of enemies. Shiva right now casting a ninjutsu spell to help increase Shiva's speed and just rush through to the end of this level here. Yeah, I was trying to sort of provide commentary through the chat messages as I was making my way home in a ride share. So yeah, and now we're through. What did I say this stage was? This is 5A. I always forget the name of these bosses, but we got this boss. Ideally, yeah, you want to use this. We'll call it like a wind ninjutsu. You stun the boss, and then get behind him and take advantage of his weakness from behind, and keep stunning him with kunai or shuriken. So we didn't quite get the ideal kill here, but it's not too late. We can just get behind him, get in a nice slice. Okay, nice. Yeah, Shiva opted to just go ahead and stun that boss there, and then just go ahead and get in the quick kills since the health was low enough. Again, another clutch moment here because the health was super low. All right, ideally this level here, there is a skip that you can do, and if you do it, you save minutes. Nice. Shiva got it on the first try, using the scroll to help get some speed to jump across that pit. That trick, in olden times, runners used to use a slash special where you hold down the square button and zip across the ground, like towards enemies and stuff. They would use that to help get across that pit. But yeah, you can jump over it even without the ninjutsu scroll here that Shiva used. You can get across without having to use one of those. And it actually then, by holding on to that scroll, it would help make this fight go a little quicker against this flame moth here. But in the meantime, yeah, we go ahead, we'll lower her health to a certain point, and then allow her babies to spawn. I don't know what else to call them, but her babies or her minions, so that we can then get that Tate kill. We'll go ahead, slice and dice them up. And then go ahead, lay the final hit, bow. But yeah, you can go with, thankfully with Moritsune, because of his extra damage, you don't have to rely on that scroll. Hotsuma, it would be ideal to hold on to a scroll so that you can use like his flame attack and just help get the boss's health further down. This stage casually can be really troublesome for players. Yeah, Shiva almost had a little slip into the water there. This water in certain areas can kill you even with it being at your ankles. Luckily, that point that Shiva was at right there was one of those moments where it was nice and fine. And good kunai shuriken throws there to take out the totems again. This again is one of the stages where you just gotta destroy the stone totems. We don't have to fight any enemies. Just destroy the stone totems and we can continue to move through the stage. Which, as you can see, our health is already draining. We got to get through as quickly as we can. Yeah, this stage is a jerk. There's a number of stages that's a jerk. This one in particular is a really big jerk of stage. And so, yeah, get those tates. Yep. Yeah, you can, for some safety, you can kill a few enemies here and there just to make sure that, you extend your life a little bit longer. Oh, gotta go back, hit this one totem here. Good. Health is a little less than halfway now. Sonicu, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to SEGATHON 6666. Yeah, this is the 6th SEGAthon here on the SegaCrew channel. We are very appreciative for all of you tuning in to check out our marathon here. We all love Sega. We spread the word of Sega as much as we can, and so yeah, if you've never been here before, you're in for a treat, because that's all we do is Sega all day, all night, every time. So now we got this boss. Do some stun locks with kunai, and then again aim at his back. This boss he has, like most enemies, you want to aim at their back. You can sort of aim at an angle to get like really hit his weak spots, to then cause some serious damage. Which very nice job to Shiva here. All right, 5B. 5B's boss can be one of the worst bosses in the game, depending on RNG. We'll see how this boss cooperates. So it's gonna take some cycles just to toss out some projectiles or this Kamehameha blast. But the goal here is to take advantage of the snakes that he'll eventually drop, so then you can get that Tate kill on him. So I think maybe after this right here, yeah, dropping the snakes, Shiva casts the ninja magic to then quickly kill the snakes on the ground and then go ahead and get that slice on the snake boss. And it's down. Moving on to the next stage, which is one of my favorite stages. This is a stage that when I've left this game for a long time, I come back to here to help quote unquote warm up the hands, to get familiar with the run again, familiar with the controls, and as a friend of mine calls it, shout outs to Shinkensu, the PS2 action camera. But if you're playing on actual hardware for this, the controls can be a bit rough with the PS2 controller. The aiming of the kunai is very particular, or so. And yeah, you got to be. You'll get used to like the movement that Shiva's doing here if you were to get into this game, into running it. And when you do, it feels so good. It's a very fun run. Just even casually, this was one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best PS2 games. Admittedly, now this is going to be blasphemous, but I got this game primarily as a holdover until I could play Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. But the thing is when I got this, I grew to love it. I was a big fan of Shinobi already, but it was like this came out before Ninja Gaiden, and it was like I need some kind of ninja game in my life, and so this was it for a while. Playing it heavily in college, my college days, which probably just continues to show how old I am too. If I'm playing this in college, and some people are like, I played this when I was a kid. I always hear those stories, and I'm just like, God, I'm so old. Yeah, so getting through again one of the best stages with one of the best soundtracks. I can't hear it, unfortunately. I can't be there with you all to hear it, but I'm living through each of you. Living vicariously through each of you. The OST here. One of the coolest fights in the game. This enemy here is blind. But we're about to decimate him really quick. If we get behind him. Oh, okay. So he turned around before we could actually get him with the last blast there. Nice. Shiva adapted very well. Shiva's done really well. Like I saw a few of the earlier bosses as I was coming home. Some good adaptations. And then some really good quick kills on others as well. So yeah, this was a good adaptive moment there. Similar to fighting that snake boss that we fought, the game, instead of like tossing you into another level, they just toss a boss at you that sort of makes up a whole level. So yeah, right after fighting one boss, we're fighting another boss here. And this is another boss where we just sit tight, wait for it to summon its minions, keep our cool. Yeah, he's throwing a temper tantrum, slamming his hands on the desk here. But we go ahead, pop him a few times. We lost our power build up there because the enemies they eventually dissipate or fade away after a while. Like if you don't get the Tate right away, so you have to just sort of do it again. Same here. Oh, nice little juggle there of movement. Just once you hit the enemy's weak spot, there's a few seconds or like a second or two of iframes that you then have to wait to then be able to dash back up and hit it again. But this should do it. Once we get in there, boom. And we got that good tate with the flashing lights there for a moment. All right, we are moving on to 7A. And 7A is another one of those levels that I think casually is fun. Love the music here. Speedrun wise, it's probably one of my least favorites. It's just a little dull. So there's a part personally for me that tends to always mess me up. And I think it's coming up right after this first barrier of these kunoichi that we have to deal with. Speaking of, right after Shinobi for PS2 here, Shiva will run Nightshade. I know a little bit about that game, not a great deal to speak to it as much. I could possibly try, but we'll see. But this part, I hate this waterfall. But I think I sort of just get into my head, and Shiva made it look really like nothing. But it's a bane of my existence, because I tend to fall and die here. But I'll have to clean that up myself, as I have a run of this game coming up soon for another particular event. I have to run this too. But I will have to learn from Shiva on how to get over my fear. Yeah, making great and quick work through these enemies. Using that lightning, we'll call it lightning. They all have names. It's late in the morning or late at night. I don't remember them all. But we used that lightning spell to, again, gain speed to get through certain parts quickly. This jump is another one of those moments I hate. It's not as bad as the waterfall, but it can mess you up playing it casually. If you don't do that jump right, you could fall to your death. It's an easy way to just pop yourself off the wall and die. All right, and that is the end of the level. Gosh, I'm forgetting her name, but she's a friend of Hotsuma and Moritsune. She grew up with them, and basically she joined Moritsune's side, storyline wise, and gets betrayed, that kind of thing. The whole story of this for this game is pretty tragic. Hotsuma is the last of the Oboro clan, the same clan that Joe from the original Shinobi games was part of, or the lead or head ninja of. The Oboro clan, they all get wiped out. They get slaughtered and then get revived, and you have to fight them in their revive. You have to kill them again, basically, because some evil wizard guy, sorcerer, which I'm forgetting his name now. He revived him to take on Hotsuma, and also to, I guess, draw out the power of the sword Akujiki that both Hotsuma and, in this case, Moritsune have. But yeah, as you can see, you're fighting yourself. Moritsune actually goes by another name when you're fighting him as this ninja. It's at least in the instruction booklet. There's another name for him. I actually have it next to me. I admit I'm a little lazy to open it up though. to actually to see what that name is, but all right. I'm while we're waiting here, I'm looking it up. Name is, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have said that, because now I'm gonna butcher it. It's Omizuchi. It's Omizuchi. And the description is: a mysterious ninja who pursues Hotsuma at all costs. The shadowy figure destroyed the capital city and assisted in the assault of the Oboro village. So, something like that. That's his name. Going off the instruction booklet. Aomizuchi. Oh, thanks, Graham. See, Grim's more wide awake than I am. But yeah, we are on one of the last few stages here. Shiva's taking some nice shortcuts on here. There's like an intended route that you take casually, but as a speed run, we can take some shortcuts, and you know, casually somebody will probably figure it out too to do it. But we tend to take little shortcuts on jumping, like as Shiva's doing here, jumping from these platforms from one to the other. Without going the intended route. And if you go the intended route, then you run into, you know, all kinds of enemies and have to fight them. This is one of the few stages that doesn't, well, it has the totems still, but it doesn't have like as many barriers as say some of the previous stages. But so yeah, we have the totems, and we go ahead, take out those totems, and continue on. I'm going to take another shortcut to the right here to avoid all these enemies as we lose health. So always keep your cool even as you're losing health. Never get flustered. Do the long shot here. And yep, keep on moving. And then there's some nice little soul bits hanging in the air here. If you know, if you need some safety, you can grab those. All right, got a big jump here that sometimes catches people off guard. And if you die, like at this point in the level, you have to start the whole level all over. That's for all the stages. You have to start at the very beginning of the level, which in this case, for this level, the boss is the door. We did the tate on the door, and moving on into the final full level of the game. So stage 8B. So 8B, we're in this tower now that has been around since the beginning of the game, that Holtzman's been sort of making his way there. In the normal game, Holtzman is making his way there, but in this run of the game, of course, Moritsune is making his way there. We don't want to enter these rooms because then it'll trigger enemies like this, and then we'll get closed off behind a barrier, can't move, and we'll lose time. So instead, you'll see Shiva throw kunai into certain rooms that have the floating stone totems without actually entering them, such as like that one right there. Nice quick side tosses of the kunai there. No look shots. Those can be tricky to do, especially with, again, the PS2 action camera, PS2 controller. And nice tate, nice pose. Yeah, some of these rooms we do want to go in. Against others we don't. So this is an example of one we do want to go in, because once we kill these guys, then we're going to just sort of exit behind us. Yeah, basically that door right there that they're showing, and go on through. Toss a kunai without going in. This one we can go in, and one more totem, I think, and we can keep going. Yep. All right, so here this level I forgot to mention. So this level is a mix of destroying the totems and destroying enemies. So we had to destroy the enemies there. Those, I don't know. You see, there's words going up in the little red pillars there. I think of them as like lava falls, lava waterfalls kind of thing. And yeah, they can hurt you, so you don't want to touch those at all. But you gotta get through this room, destroy the totems, don't fall into the pit because you'll die. And then yeah, we still go through these corridors, fighting these enemies. These enemies for Holtzma are a little spongy, but for Moritsune, with that double damage, you go down pretty easy. Now we got this nice little, it's a cool section I thought they designed well in the game, where we're going up this vertical shaft, but it's sort of like turning the layout of the level topsy-turvy. So you can see there's stairs to the left there that, you know, the whole room should be shifted like 90 degrees or something. The stairs are upside down, the room's upside down. You're Spider-Man on the ceiling. But you know, those who know me, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I love those type of things. Yeah, falling through. Got one more like corridor here. And yeah, we got a number of like cycles of enemies to take out before we can get through this barrier. And then one more. All right, and now we have the climb leading up into the final floor, I guess you can say, of the tower. Got to be careful here. If you're not careful with your dashes and your jumps, and you lose them as you're trying to make your way across, you fall. Again, you have to repeat this entire stage over. And we are in the clear. By this big golem dude. And that's it. We're now on the final boss. His name starts with an H. I can't remember. Also, I can't hear if you all are on the JP soundtrack versus the vocals versus the English vocals. Because then he announces his attacks and stuff. If you're using the English, it's easier to anticipate what moves he'll do. Whereas, same can go, it's the English one. Okay, yeah. Most players tend to go the English route, or at least I should say most North American players. Just because it's easier to anticipate the moves. But you get used to, you know what to listen for. I play this or run this with the JP vocals. So okay, here we are fighting our final boss and stunning him just so he doesn't do some silly moves or moves around all over the place. The idea here is, again, to allow him to spawn his minions, aka these floating talismans, build up enough so that then when enough come onto the screen, we'll probably use some invincibility, the lightning magic again, to quickly speed around, take out the talismans, build up our tate, and then slice our boss here. All right, this is a good number. And then he usually will go into a special move too. But right now it looks like he's doing one of his attacks, and he sort of announced, he lets out like a grunt when he's about to do his super special attack where he teleports all over. He's not doing it yet. Wow. But once he does that, it's ideal, because then he's going to sort of make himself open or susceptible to an attack, because usually he'll block your attack. Ooh, that's great. That was really good. And that's time. Actually, it was time on the final hit, but sometimes he can get a little wily, really crafty there. Yeah, that was a good run. GG's. Yeah, that is Shinobi for PS2, and that was a nice class to show, if you get to that final boss, how to fight it. Hiroku, that's his name, Hiroku. how to fight Heroku, because Heroku tends to turn a lot of people off from this game, especially casually. And even sometimes with the speedrun as well. But yeah, great job, Shiva. That will conclude it for Shinobi PlayStation 2. Like I said, I gotta do a little bit more playing of this for myself, so I'll use Shiva as a guide with this SEGATHON run to help me improve some areas that I need to improve on. But always looking for more people to play this game. And yeah, stay tuned for Night Shift.